Hello guys, it's Chad at Pete's RV Center. We got a real treat today. I just want to let you know we're going to have a walkthrough demonstration by Ed Cormier. Not a thorough walkthrough, but just to kind of give you an idea of what we offer at our dealership. A lot of dealerships don't go into thorough walkthroughs. You go in, you get the 3 or 4 minute walkthrough with your sales guy. At Pete's RV Center, we have a professional staff that offers a full walkthrough for every trailer purchase. New or used, there's no charge for it, because we want to teach you how to use what you pay for. We're going to walk through an Outback today, a brand new Outback, so we're excited for that. Ed Cormier is going to give us the runaround on the inside. Just exciting stuff. If you've never seen one, it's a good place to check it out. And when you do come for yours, as always, whether you go to a Vermont store or Indiana store, you'll get a full and thorough walkthrough and make you 100% happy with the purchase you bought today. So real excited today. It's going to be a special video with Ed. So when we get inside, I'll introduce you to Ed and we'll go from there. I want to introduce Ed Cormier. Ed Cormier's position at the dealership here is the walkthrough specialist. Pete's RV Center sells so many trailers that we have one person just dedicated to doing walkthroughs, and that's Ed's position here. Ed's been around the RV industry for a long time. He's owned RVs. He's probably done somewhere just in the last year 700 walkthroughs, I would say. Ed's done a lot of them. He probably does 90% of all walkthroughs at the dealership. So he's got a lot of experience in camping. Ed, tell us a little bit, what is a walkthrough? You know, tell me a little bit. Everybody says, oh, I'm going to get a walkthrough. What is a walkthrough?
Well, for folks that have bought a camper, whether it be a brand new at camping, they're going to need a discussion of how the camper works. I go through the outside with them. I explain how to take care of the sewer on the outside, which is very important. I explain to them how to look at the back of the water tank, if there's any switches outside, how to run those switches. I show them where the back of the refrigerator is, should that ever need to be worked on, they know where that panel is. I show them how to make sure they maintain the axles on the outside, where there's grease fittings on the axles. If there's if there's a hitch in the front, any new work that needs to be done on the hitch, I explain to them how to use that. Where the propane tanks are, how to use the regulator and the propane tanks. If it's a fifth wheel, I show them where the ladder is on the back of the trailer so they can get up on the roof and do the roof inspections. And then I go through and show them how the awning works. I put the awning down, explain to them how it works, how to tie it down during a storm, all that sort of stuff. And then I bring them on the inside and I take them through the inside.
I think a lot of people say, oh, you know, we've had a camper before. I know how to... You know, I know how the hot water works, but I think a lot of people don't realize, hey, you know what? This is how you winterize a camper. Or, hey, B, we have a roof. This roof comes on a brand new trailer. Keystone product has a 12-year warranty. But you have to make sure you keep the warranty up to date, and you do that by using special cleaners on it, special maintenance tips, and I think that's our strong point on these. I mean, a lot of people, I know when you do your walkthrough, it's not only just showing you, hey, this is where the button is for the light switch, but this is why. This is how. If that light switch isn't working, is your battery low? And I think that's probably the most important thing that you offer people.
Exactly. What people have bought here is a house on wheels. So there's a lot of explanations that are required to know how to use this. When I get done with my walkthrough, I spend a few minutes with people explaining them all the maintenance items required on it. And there's not a lot, but there's some very important maintenance items that people need to understand. And then when I'm all done, I go through the inside of the store with them and I show them all the products that I've talked about that are required to maintain a camper, and as well as a few things that can be used to make a camper more comfortable while they're using it as well. Okay, there may be some differences in the camper that you've had, so there's a few things that are probably going to be a little bit different. Then we'll put your awning down so you can see how that operates. I'll talk about that for a minute. Then we'll go through the inside. We'll make sure the slide's all out, and we'll go through the inside and explain everything there. And then when we're all done, we'll talk about some maintenance items that are required. And then when I'm all finished, I'm going to walk you through the inside of the store and show you the maintenance items that we talked about and a few things that you might need to maintain this. Okay? If you have any point, you have any questions, just fire away. No such thing as a dumb question. Okay? And if I can't answer it, I'll find somebody that can. Fair enough?
Is there like a gas ditch-up or a gas grill someplace on it?
I'll explain that when we go around.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to start over here just to the right-hand side of the door, if you will.
You yourself, you own a fifth wheel?
Yes, I do.
It's Keystone, Montana. Is that correct? Well, we're glad, and I think we're glad you purchased it here. So, and did you get a walkthrough when you bought your camper?
Actually, I did my own.
You did your own walkthrough.
I did a lot of jokes about that. My wife and I have been camping for a better part of 30 years, so we do have some experience. So when I talk to people about a camper, I can answer a lot of questions that people ask going down the road. Is what would you do in this case or that case? I had the experience that I can answer most of those questions.
And I will tell you, from a dealership standpoint, we get a lot of feedback from customers, not only for salespeople, walkthrough persons, service. It's kind of funny, and this is both at our Indiana store and our Vermont store. The #1 praised employee at the dealership is the walkthrough person, whether it's out of our Vermont store or Indiana store. So the walkthrough is very, very important, and a lot of dealers say they offer walkthroughs, but this is where you got to come to get a thorough walkthrough, and we really appreciate Ed having the knowledge and taking the time and studying up on it, without a doubt.
Okay, you get 110 volt circuit breakers, 12 volt fuses, you get 15 amp fuses and 40 amp fuses. The 15 amp fuses you can get most anywhere, but the 40s can be a little bit difficult to find. We sell them in here. I usually tell folks, get a couple of each size and tape them inside the door, so if you ever need one, you got it handy.
Yeah.
Okay, and these circuits are marked in here, so it tells you what they go to. This here is a propane detector that I mentioned outside.
Yeah.
That little jewel there can kill your battery if allowed to. So again, if you're going to park this in a spot for any length of time and not have it plugged in, you want to utilize that disconnect switch outside so that thing cannot be allowed to kill your battery.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, your microwave oven. It works just like any microwave does at home, pretty much. If you've got one at home, you know how to run one. I know how to run the popcorn button on mine. That's about it. Television. Okay, you got a 110 volt plug, and this is a 12 volt plug, and a place to put in your coax. And this little green light right here is a booster off your TV antenna. I'll go over the antenna in just a moment. If you're watching TV from the antenna on top of the camper with that green light on, it'll greatly improve your TV reception. If you're using your own satellite dish, or if you're at a campground that's got cable TV, you want to push that black button and then turn that green light off, because that booster will interfere with cable or satellite reception.
Okay.
So you want the green light on for the antenna and off for everything else. Okay. Now we'll go through the monitor panel here. Okay. You've got 2 switches for your hot water tank, like I mentioned outside. One for gas and one for electric. So it's just that's all there is to turn on the hot water tank. One for gas, one for electric.
So if you're in a campground with electricity, you'd use your electric.
Absolutely. Use their electricity and save your gas.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yep.
So it's either way. Okay.
Yep.
For the
Okay.
heat?
For the hot water.
Hot water. Oh, hot water. Okay.
Yep. This is for the water pump. So if you're going to go camping without a place that doesn't have its own water supply, and you fill up the water tank in the camper, you want to turn that pump on. I'm sure just like your Kodiak there, when you first turn it on, it'll run for 30 seconds or so.
Never used it.
Never used it? Well, if you ever do, it'll run for a few seconds and then shut itself off. And then whenever you turn on the water, while the water's running, you'll hear the pump run. When you shut the water off, the pump will go off. Okay? This is the switch for the awning, which you also expertly used a moment ago.
It's so hard.
And these are the 2 switches for your slides.
Okay.
Okay, right now both the slides are out. Okay? This here is to run your furnace and your air conditioning. Right here, it's in the off position.
Okay.
So one click to the right turns on your furnace. Then you can control the temperature, like that.
Okay.
One click to the left turns on the fan, which operates the fan and the AC unit. All that does is move air throughout the camper. It doesn't heat it, doesn't cool it, it just moves air. All the way to the left turns on the AC, and that way you can control the temperature by using the thermostat.
So as we wrap this thing up, as you guys can tell, walkthrough's #1, really important, not only for safety of your trailer, but how to maintain it, how to keep it looking new for a long time, and just enjoyment in general. As you can see, Ed Cormier is a very enthusiastic guy around here. We're glad to have him. We're lucky to have him. So if you have any questions, like I told Ed before and told you, chat at Pete's RV Center. You can call in anytime to our dealership here. Be glad to help you, whether you're going to our Indiana store or a Vermont store. So thanks again for thinking Pete's RV Center. We look forward to your next purchase here, and maybe someday you'll catch up with Ed and he'll show you how to use your camper.